there's this piece where, you know, when the population is living an experience of high emotion, dissatisfaction, desiring for some transformation in a way that is expansive for the culture, that they use the games. Whether it be like, you know, the games of blood, or the games of sport, or in modern day culture, the Super Bowl, football, whatever. It's a way of driving the emotional energy as an outlet in sport as in game, but when it comes to like really having emotions or wanting transformation, that it gets usurped or manipulated towards this very unconscious way of moving energy. You have any thoughts or words on that?
Yes, it's a bypass. It's an emotional bypass. It's a projection. We project our anger, we project our frustration, we project our excitement into these games that isn't real life.
And what's interesting, it's like, you know, the more that there was dissatisfaction, the more that the sport got violent. And now it's like you see the same thing, boxing, UFC, it's all the same.
Because we don't want to own the own violence inside of us, the own predator and prey inside of us.
Beautiful. To buy tickets. Welcome to the Colosseum. Imagine how many years ago? Thousands of years ago.
Oh, audio guide. I was trying to see where
That
dated. Coming to watch the, is it gladiator fights?
Gladiators, all of it.
I'm used to going to the women's soccer games in Portland, but this is a whole next level.
You can imagine all the Romans excited about the gladiators and who's going to be eaten by bears and lions
and tigers and
tigers
bears
and more. Woohoo!
I'm coming to a sporting event, but these sporting events resulted in deaths. Bloody, gory.
Yeah, and people were very excited about it.
Which is pretty creepy.
So this is the underneath. So this was covered once upon a time, and this is the underneath.
Where they would get them ready.
Where they get them ready, the gladiators and the animals and all of that.
So they were all underneath the stadium.
Walking the ancient hallways, ancient Rome. So interesting how there was a hierarchy for the seats. The first group of seats were reserved for senators, then the knights, then, you know, progressively to the lower social classes as they went up. So there was a whole group of underground levels where they had the animals and the working quarters and so on. So what I learned quickly is that it was the emperor that would put on the show, and they would announce it like the day of. They were free. He would pay for it, but the events were free for the most part, unless it was a festival. And they used to use these games as punishment to criminals, prisoners of war, what else? Yeah, just all the types of slaves.
And oftentimes the famous or winning gladiators would become bodyguards for the senators. The games faded out when they weren't choosing the optimal fighters, and it just kind of lost its steam.
And it started BC, if I read correctly.
Yes.
The whole thing started in BC and then ended around the 5th century when, like you said, the quality was dropping.
And I always thought that they were fighting against each other, but when what I read on the other wall is they're fighting against large animals a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, yes.
And they'd use the meat to give it freely to the people, or they'd use it to feed other animals that they were using in the gladiator shows.
Even the human remains meat?
No,
Just
the
the
animal
animal.
meat. Well, who knows?
Yeah, at that point their bodies don't really count for much if they were put in
Exactly,
that.
but they put in rhinos and lions and elephants and all sorts of large animals. Yeah.